The pencil tool inside of Illustrator is a free hand drawing tool, giving you the ability to draw freely within the program. Now, it's an easy tool to use, but it's a hard tool to get good results with if you're using a mouse or, even worse, a trackpad on a laptop. Ideally, you'll have a pressure-sensitive tablet. Nevertheless, like I said, using it is incredibly easy. You're going to come over and choose the pencil tool from the Tools panel. N is the keyboard shortcut. And because it's a path creation tool, you're going to be using the stroke attributes for styling it. Now, when you mouse into the document, you'll notice you have a little X that appears next to the cursor icon. That's simply an indicator that you're about to create a new path. Now, I don't have a pressure-sensitive tablet, so I'm not going to have much success in terms of drawing something realistic here, but if I go ahead and click and drag, you'll notice I create a path. What's nice about using the pencil tool, as you click and drag, you can see the path that you've already created in dotted lines. When you let go of the mouse, those dotted lines are converted into an actual path with anchor points. Now, the default behavior of the pencil tool, if a line segment is selected, like it is in this case, when you mouse over it, you'll be altering that path instead of creating a new path. You need to have that little X next to the cursor to create a new path. In this case, if I mouse over the path, if I click and drag, you'll notice I've just altered that path. And that's the default behavior of the pencil tool. Now, what you can do, if you wanted a new line to come off of this first path that you created, you can hold down the Command key or the Control key on Windows to temporarily activate the selection tool, click away from the path to deselect it. Then at that point, you can place your cursor right on top of that other path that you created, click and drag, and now it looks like they're connected. Of course, they're not connected, but it at least has that appearance now. So there are some options associated with the pencil tool. If you come over to the pencil tool and you double-click it here in the Tools panel, you'll get a dialog box. And in this dialog box, there's some tolerances for fidelity and smoothness. Fidelity simply means how smooth, believe it or not, your path will be based upon the amount of anchor points that will be created. So if we drag this all the way to the right, and then we click OK, if we click and drag a new path, you'll notice we have very few anchor points. If we double-click this again and drag this all the way back down to 0.5 pixels and click OK, if we create a new path, you'll notice we have many anchor points. So that's what I mean by smoothness. This is a smoother line because you're basically using tangent handles to create these curves. And to illustrate that, if you come over and highlight the sub-selection tool, with that tool selected, if you click on one of these anchor points, you'll notice you have these handles that give you the ability to control the direction of that anchor point. So come back and double-click on the pencil tool again. Inside this dialog box, there's also a smoothness option, oddly enough, and this basically will smooth out inconsistencies. For example, if you're dragging your mouse on the desk and you're dragging kind of slow and your hand's a little shaky, this smoothness option will kind of smooth out those minor imperfections. Down towards the bottom, there are some additional options as well that you can use with the pencil tool, but I just wanted to point out that the pencil tool does in fact have this options dialog box. So the pencil tool is a free hand drawing tool inside of Illustrator that has some unique characteristics, but ultimately you're going to get the best results with this tool by using something like a pressure-sensitive tablet.